All right, so this is the CD of A Hard Day's Night, which is based on the British version of that album. I'll go back. The American version, the tracks were A Hard Day's Night, followed by Tell Me Why, followed by I'll Cry Instead, then I Should Have Known Better, an instrumental version of it, then I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, then an instrumental version of I Love Her. That was side one. Side two was I Should Have Known Better, then If I Fell, then And I Love Her, then an instrumental called Ringo's Theme, which is an instrumental version of This Boy, and then Can't Buy Me Love, and then an instrumental version of A Hard Day's Night. And that came out on June 26 of 1964. But the British version didn't come out until July 10th of 1964. But it had different tracks, more tracks, and a different order. So it starts off with A Hard Day's Night, which is sung by mostly John with a lot of Paul adding to it. And then that's followed by I Should Have Known Better, sung by John. And then If I Fell, which is John and Paul and George. I was listening closely to it the other day, and yeah, George is a lot of what's at first glance seems like duets between John and Paul are actually trios with George. That's followed by I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, sung by George, and then And I Love Her, sung by Paul, and then Tell Me Why, sung by John, and the side ends with Can't Buy Me Love, sung by Paul. Those are the songs from the movie, but the other side of this album had songs that were not in the movie. There's Any Time at All, sung by John, I'll Cry Instead, which was supposed to be written for the movie, but it was not included in the movie. And then Things We Said Today, sung by Paul, When I Got Home, sung by John, You Can't Do That, sung by John. That had previously appeared on the Beatles' second album, the Beatles' second American album. But the Americans got it earlier than the British did. And finally, I'll Be Back, sung by John. So, I didn't sing the titles, did I? Okay, let's go through them. It starts with Hard Day's Night, and I should have known better. If I fell, I'm happy just to dance with you. And I love her. Tell me why. Can't buy me love anytime at all. And I'll cry instead. Things we said today. When I get home, you can't do that. I'll be back. Okay, so some titles. So, yeah. So the CD is in stereo, and I mostly listen to music on my phone, and more often in my car. So I hook the phone up to the car, and I play stuff from my phone onto the car. But these tracks, most of these, I got from this CD. I transferred from the CD to my computer, from my computer, to my phone, and then from the phone to the car. But listening to the CD in the car sounds much better. I'm not sure why. It's sort of like the difference between how an analog album sounds better than a digital CD because of the warmthness of the sound. It's that kind of effect. I don't know what's going on. It's possible that Apple Music is not playing the songs from my CD, but is instead substituting the 2009 mix of these songs. Because I bought this one in 2004, Maybe it's substituting the 2009 songs mix of the same songs with the same title because it thinks that those are better, and even though I don't agree. Yeah, that's a problem. Um, yeah, since 1969, as near as I can tell, technology has not progressed at all, with the exception of computers. And since 2010, I haven't seen that much improvement in computers, except they're much better at spying on me and deciding things for me that I didn't want to do. Uh, for a long time, when I tried to write things on Facebook, it would decide I was trying to write a different word and substitute that, and I would go back and redo it. And after the third attempt, I would just let whatever nonsense Facebook decide on stand. So, anyway, Hard Day's Night, the British album, is pretty good. This is them at the peak of their popularity. And I wanted to review the movie too, but I no longer own a copy of the movie. I had a European copy, but I left in Europe because it won't play on American DVD players. And I don't have one here. But it's really surprising to me that the movie is not being shown in theaters right now for the 60th anniversary, because I did see it in the theater for the 20th anniversary back in 1984. I don't understand, why aren't they pulling this out and running it through the theaters?